University. We're having a special event tomorrow called the Huddle. And the Huddle, the first year we did it this past year in Atlanta, it was an exciting event that we were able to bring in several former pro athletes that were inspired to come and share their message, and inspired to come and share their vision of their lives and what God had done in their lives and how the journey had brought them to where they were on and off the field. So tomorrow we'll be at Floyd Memorial, 3 o'clock, doors open. We'll have a panel tomorrow of superstar athletes. Then we'll also have Troy Vincent, who is the executive vice president of the NFL, will be sharing a message on anti-bullying and anti-domestic violence as he shares his own experience in leading the charge with the NFL to take on that platform to make sure that we are respectful to one another. And then we'll have the wonderful show that is a hit on Fox Sports. You all may have heard. It's called The Odd Couple. And The Odd Couple is two guys that have different places of life, different journeys of life, but come together to talk sports and do an amazing job. One of those amazing brothers is one of my closest friends and dear brother in the Lord, and the dear brother who has started this movement. He's going to come now, and he's going to talk a little bit about what the journey has meant for him with King. Before he comes, I think we're going to see a little video from last year's Huddle, and then after you watch the little video moment from the Huddle last year, then you will hear from our founder, Chris Broussard. Put your hands together in anticipation. I'm sorry, my mistake. We're going to have Chris first. We have Chris first? Chris is first? Okay. I'm sorry. So Chris is coming now. Come on, Chris. Give it up to Chris.
I think that's another word for technical difficulties. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming out. First, all the celebrities, the former NFL and NBA players that came out. Let's give them a hand. And Pastor Bryant, I definitely want to give him a round of applause because he put this whole thing together along with Rob Jones. I don't know how in the world he finds the time to do what he does. He pastors a large church in San Francisco. He works for Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Push Coalition. And then he finds time to do what he does for King. It's amazing, but he does just great work for us, and I'm really appreciative of his friendship and all the work that he does. And finally, I want to thank all of you for coming out to support the King movement and what you obviously believe, as we do, is a worthy cause. I'll just speak for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to be long, but I founded the King movement roughly 8 or 9 years ago because it's a national Christian men's movement. It's a Christian brotherhood, and I noticed in meeting brothers who were trying to serve the Lord that a lot of men, their walks were like a roller coaster. You know, their walks with Christ. And I noticed, in my view, a lot of it was because they lacked brotherhood. We know, we who try to follow Christ, we know it's about a lifestyle. It's not just about church on Sunday. It's about living for Christ Monday through Saturday, or Sunday night through Saturday, or whatever it may be. And so we put together the King movement to try to provide that brotherhood for men. So you could have men you could relate to in terms of culture, in terms of music. You may talk politics, just other aspects of life that we do. Even just getting together and hanging out, getting together and watching the Super Bowl or whatever it may be. And that brotherhood, we believe, can really help keep men steady in their walk with the Lord because they feel like they're not alone in trying to do it. And so that's one thing that the King movement really tries to provide. And one thing we found is that you can help keep men strong in their daily lives with Christ by getting out into the communities and doing things and trying to help people. And so all of our chapters, we have roughly 12 chapters throughout the country, and all of them do community service, evangelism, and then just social activities where you can just get together and hang out with guys that are like-minded. And so one of the community service projects that we're doing around the country is we're mentoring young men. In fact, all of our chapters, they do various forms of community service. Some do basketball leagues where you have to attend Bible study to play in the league. Some do barbershop tours where they go to barbershops and just drum up conversations with men or with guys in the shop about various situations from a biblical perspective. Others go into juvenile detention centers and prisons. Some feed the homeless on a consistent basis. Not only feed them, but fellowship with them and talk with them and get to know them and stuff. So those are some of the things we do, but we want all of our community service to focus on boys and men. Boys and men. And so we founded the K.I.N.G Scholars Program. And the K.I.N.G Scholars Program is to help teenage boys in high school and college, grow into the men that God created them to be. It's a very confusing time to be a man or a woman in the United States of America today. And you may not know what you are, according to some people, right? And so we believe you do need to share a clear biblical perspective on what a man is and what a man of God is, and provide our young men with an example, with definitions, and help them become the men that God created them to be. So our K.I.N.G Scholars Program is not just spiritual. That's an aspect of it, of course, because that's the root of all of that. But we also deal with education. We're taking a group on a tour of some historically black colleges and universities in the spring. We're working with a lot of HBCUs on various programs, and that's why we're at Florida Memorial tomorrow. But we also, talk about career development, and again, that's why I'll be talking about my career tomorrow, how you can choose your career and things you need to do to prepare for your career. We have a lot of young people that may say, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, but then they're not studying. They're not doing their homework. They're not trying to get the best grades they can in school. So you really don't want to be that. You're just saying it because you need to say something. So we deal with them in real talk, And so those are some of the things we do in our K.I.N.G Scholars Program. And of course, character development, how to treat women, how to treat girls. Again, that's why we have Troy Vincent speaking on domestic violence and the Me Too movement and respecting women and also conflict resolution with other boys, and you don't have to always fight and things like that. So that's what the K.I.N.G Scholars Program is about, and that's what all of the resources we've gained from today's event will go toward our K.I.N.G Scholars Program. And so I want to thank all of you again for coming out and supporting, and that is where your money, your hard-earned money is going to. So I thank you again for helping out, not necessarily the K.I.N.G movement, but helping these young people that we're going to be able to touch with what you've done today. So thank you very much.